If you're looking for healing, motivation, and encouragement, check out Queen's Opinion Podcast, where lifetime events can change and inspire your life. Peace. Welcome back to another episode of Queen's Opinion Podcast. I am your host, Queen Kira, and today I have a special guest. Hey, Matthew.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming.
I feel honored. I like to be in your presence right now. You do so well. So
Thank
I'm a little nervous.
Thank you. So, as you guys can see, we do have a twist. Today we have a king on our Queen Opinion Podcast.
I'm the first?
You are the first. You are the first.
Oh, that's wild.
Yes,
oh,
you are the
guys.
first.
Wow.
Yes, you are the first. So,
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
On Queen's Opinion Podcast, anything goes. It is your opinion, how you feel. There's no judgment. So, we'll just get right into it.
Okay.
So,
perfect.
As everyone see, this is Matthew. This is who you are. So, tell the people about you. Who is Matthew?
So, Matthew is a mix of a lot of things, and it's kind of weird because you meet people and they're able to just put it all out.
Okay.
You know, it's just not that simple for me.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's a little
Elaborate.
bit, it's more complex. It's, if astrology makes sense for anybody, I'm a Leo sun, Leo moon, Libra rising, then my Mercury is Leo, and then the other one after that is Leo.
Okay. Okay.
That's domination of Leo. So I'm a pure Leo, but that means that I'm happy one minute, I'm sad the other, it's kind of like a
But you
weird
also
complex.
balance because you stated that you are a
there's a
Libra
balance.
and there's a balance with you.
The anchor.
But being a Leo, that's the lion. So you're very strong. You stand on what you say. You are who you are. That's just what it boils down to. Okay.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that. Okay.
But yeah, I'm just a fun person. I
Okay.
love everybody.
I can
I
tell.
want everybody to have fun. I want everybody to feel comfortable. Like, you come over and I'm waiting on you hand and foot.
Okay.
I'm a pure host.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay.
So it's a raw, but it's a sweet.
Okay.
What's the
okay.
Sour Patch commercial? First he's sweet, then he's raw. That's
I got you. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, here lately, on my end, I just been learning who I am or adding to my healing process. I am on a journey. So I discovered some things, good and bad, about myself that I've had to address, and some things I'm still working on because, coming into yourself is not easy, especially when you're having to face yourself. So I see you. It's not a judgment there.
Yeah.
But again, who is Matthew? Who are you? Whether it's relationship-wise, whether it's learning who you are or still growing with your truth. Who is Matthew?
I'm on that journey.
Okay.
Like you said, I'm on that journey,
Okay.
and right now I probably aren't even close to like the half of it.
Okay,
so
same.
I'm piecing those pieces together, and we had a conversation earlier about you and where you were on your journey,
Right.
And there were so many things in that conversation that actually just touched my heart because it's such a complex journey, and it's not perfect.
Yeah, of
And
course.
the journey to know and to love myself is not easy, I don't suffer with anything by the grace of God, but I do go through my episodes of depression.
Okay.
And that's not a balanced scale.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So it's like, oh my gosh, one day you're waking up and you're like, why am I even here? Like, what is my purpose here? You look around, you're happy with things. You are able to acknowledge that God has blessed you.
Right.
But it's hard. And
Yeah.
so it's a beautiful process, I think, when you look back and you reflect on it.
Of
And you're just
course.
like, look how strong I am.
Yeah.
So that's who I am. And I try to portray nothing different or nothing that's just not real, know?
Okay. I can dig that. In my walk, as you call it, or still figuring out who I am, you touched on depression, and I have my moments, I have my days. Besides the good Lord, of course, that's the only thing. And my family, I do it for them as well, but I'm still learning to find out how can I make it better for me, and that can be challenging. Like you stated, we did talk prior. I try not to talk about this all the time because I want to kind of like get out of that bringing up, not necessarily in a bad way, but bringing up my mom, her passing or whatever. Ever since that, and from 18, I'm still learning who I am. And like, I see that you live in a community where I'm pretty sure like we all are judged in a way.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
when I did this platform, it was no judgment. I don't care who you are, what color you are, where you come from. Because I feel like everybody has a story to tell and you can feed off of something with somebody at some point in time. It may not happen to you exactly, but we all go through stuff.
Yeah.
And this show, this pod is more of a encouraging type for wherever you are. Back to what I was stating, with me, how I'm living and learning and adjusting to life now is getting better. It's not there, but it's definitely getting better. It could be much better, but I know that comes with the work. So we didn't touch on just as yet of, I keep saying who you are because I don't want to just be like, he is this. I know, but what made you become who Matthew is? How did you know? So go ahead and just tell the people again who you are.
Matthew?
Yes, who is Matthew?
Matthew Ferguson Jr.
Okay.
am a black male living in this world. I love people. I love to make people happy. I love to make people forget, because I love when people do that for me.
Okay.
Like in this moment,
Yes.
it's talking to each other. It's just like, oh my gosh. So thank you.
You're welcome.
But all the things that have made me Matthew were steps in the journey, and that's from like family, which I love my family. Like family is priority,
Okay.
I don't get along with my family a lot of the times,
That's normal.
It's, oh my goodness. But those experiences really shaped me for like adulthood. And adulthood in its odd stages, like I'm now 32.
Okay.
And so my 20s were just wow.
I
A lot
think
of
everybody,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh.
You're coming into,
it's
the
like,
mess ups, the hiccups,
Yeah. And those hiccups, the mess ups, and you look back at it, like I said earlier, it's a beautiful thing because it's like, oh wow, without those, I wouldn't know what I know today.
Right, right.
And so I think through my experience, like I've just been able to adapt this source of wisdom that I feel is like very true to, I guess, overall who I am.
Okay. So when you say who you are, what does that include? Like with me, I feel like I'm gaining who I am by being strong, more voiceful, standing on certain things. I don't stand on everything, but I'm learning that.
Yeah.
Not being so, I'm going to say, nice to everybody because that I allowed that to be taken advantage of in a way where it may have disrupted who I really am because I'm a sweetheart for real.
Yeah.
But you catch me on that moment, I'll go there with you. And I don't like to righteously have to do that because there's no sense of direction when I'm in that person.
Yeah.
I found out too with who I am that it can be a struggle at times or you go back and look back like, am I really supposed to be doing this or is it worth it? Or, you have to give yourself a direction of what's going to happen when I really decide to come out or be this person. Standing on what I say, not allowing people to take advantage of me because I've been so nice to them. Now I just have this attitude, fuck you. That's just what it boils down to. Yeah, it's an automatic thing. So what's yours? What made you just be like, I'm finna be Matthew. I don't care who you are, what you got to say about it. This is me.
Really, when I came out.
Okay. How was that? So you came out what? You got to be specific.
I came out, gosh, Lee, what year was that? 2012?
Okay.
It was actually springtime. It was after the semester. I came out to avoid something else.
Okay.
So I was too focused on cheer in college, the semester before summer started, and that spring semester, and would that be the winter? No, because whatever, that second half.
Okay.
I was in such a long time. But I had made terrible grades, and my mom is a stickler on education and just kind of having that order in that line.
Yeah.
And I couldn't face the music of having to tell her, like, I focused more on cheerleading than I did, school.
Okay.
And this is a reflection of that. So I just came out.
Okay.
And so
Were you trying to Were
you
trying to push her back from knowing that, okay, my grades are slipping?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, that
so
was
you were just
my
trying to
decoy.
cover it.
And
okay.
I don't even think she knows that grades
Okay.
were bad that semester.
Okay.
So it was like, whew, so I needed something to use, so that became the thing I needed at the time. But ever since, I just kind of always been that person that was just like, I'm just gonna give it to you how I give it to you,
I am who I am.
Yeah, but that actually taught me something, because not everybody is loving towards a black gay male,
Okay. Okay.
And I just think because of the color on our skin and the fact that, in the community, it can be very
judgmental.
Judgmental things.
Yeah.
People get kind of stuck in their mind, ignorant.
Yeah.
And which isn't a bad thing,
Yeah.
because everybody's ignorant to a degree.
Absolutely.
Or to something.
You don't know.
Yeah.
And people get that word confused too. It does not mean that you're dumb. You just you don't know.
Yes.
So you have to be educated when it comes to certain things, and that's okay.
Yes, because we all learn.
Absolutely.
If you're not learning, what you doing?
Absolutely. You're not here if you're not learning. Everybody can learn. Yeah, I get that.
Oh, so it's been a time, but honestly, throughout my journey overall, I've received nothing but love.
That's good.
I've got through, me and my parents went through a little something when I first told them, because obviously
How was that? You went
ooh.
were y'all at the dinner table? You went to their home? How was
They
that?
were
What made
shocked.
you do it?
So my mom I emailed, and and my dad I told in person at the dinner table.
Oh, wow.
With the family around.
Okay.
And because I have my mom and my dad, who's my stepfather.
Okay.
But he is in the military, and so we've traveled my life. My dad is in Arkansas, and he's a big business owner in Arkansas, and so everybody respects him. Every time I'm in Pine Bluff, it's blah blah blah. You're MJ, MJ, what you doing?
You a junior too? Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's wild, but he took it. They both took it hard. I didn't speak to them for a really, really long time. My dad more said longer than my mom.
Okay.
And yeah, he wasn't happy. And we talked about it at some point. We talk about it in stages.
Okay.
We haven't just had just one full conversation about it.
Okay.
It's just the timing is always right whenever we do talk about it.
Good.
But in one of our conversations in the past, he said that he just wanted me to come to him. He was upset that I held it. Yeah, I just kind of held it from him. And it wasn't it was me, my stepmom, and who's in Pine Bluff. So there's 2 units for me.
Okay.
So when I say parents, I have 80 million of them.
Okay.
And people get confused when
Okay.
I'm my dad, my mom, and sometimes you just catch the gist on who I'm talking about. But there's, like I said, my mom and my dad are in San Antonio, Texas.
Which
they
is
retired
actually
there.
your stepdad.
Yeah, who's actually my stepdad.
Okay.
And I have 2 brothers.
Okay.
And they live in San Antonio, built a house there. They're going to be there for the remainder until, I become the savior of the family.
Okay.
Me and my cousin become the savior of the family.
Into
shout
existence.
out to Ali. And
Speaking into existence.
Yeah, then at that point, I'm going to be like, hey, let me go ahead and just move you from San Antonio, bring you here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Get you set up nicely.
Okay.
But they're in Texas, and then I have my dad and my mom, who's my stepmom, in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And so from them, I have a sister who's 3 years my junior.
Okay.
I have a brother who is, he turned 21 this year.
Okay.
So, and I'm 32, so 11 years.
Okay.
Wow, I was 11 years old when Justin was born, and it's crazy. And then I have one in heaven.
Okay.
He's tattooed right here on my chest
Okay.
with his initials. His name is Tristan.
Okay.
And who do I have? Cameron. And Cameron was born my senior year in high school, which
Okay.
is insane. We were all like, you guys were like, what? They got jiggy while we were all in DC.
Of course, they don't stop.
Yeah, short form. I got kicked out of Japan and had to move in with my dad.
Gotcha.
When I was a teenager because I was just off the wall.
Okay.
And it was my senior year. Actually, yeah, it was my senior year of high school.
Okay.
Pissed me off. It pissed me off, and I became like the ultimate. It was just nothing but fire.
Gotcha.
Like I was burning
Very
little
rebellious.
fires everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my rebellious era, but I left, got kicked out of Japan, moved to Arkansas, was there with him, and that was that. So I told him that when I lived with them at the time. He was very upset. I didn't speak to both of them for a really long time. And yeah. And so after that, like after I told my parents and I went through that little rift with them, I just was like, I don't care, who knows? And I think when I told the rest of the family, I stood on, well, if you don't like it, I can live without you.
Exactly.
And so it's like, that just kind of carried it to adulthood. I just became like a walking bitch.
Yeah, I mean,
and it wasn't like sassy.
I know what you're saying.
But
yourself.
it was just like,
I'm
not going to let anybody tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
Because I also had a really good connection with God through the experience of being kicked out of Japan to have to go live in Arkansas before my senior year. Like, it was just chaos. Like, that changed me for the first half of my life.
Okay. Did you battle with becoming who you are now? Like, or you just knew you were gay? You just knew? Did you have girlfriends? Did you try to experience it?
Yeah, I had girlfriends. God, the girls love me.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. It was insane, especially once I moved to Pine Bluff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my gosh. They tore me. Oh, look at my little fire. Look, my little fire. Here we go.
Okay.
That Leo, man. Wow. Shala. Thank you, Lord.
We'll just adjust.
Right, okay. Amen. We don't need no more little fires everywhere. We'll just back up just a tad bit. There we go. So, yeah, that was the first half. Was that the answer? Because I can go on all
No,
night.
you can.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. We're speaking on our truth, living in our truth. I was just trying to see what may have just converted you over to say, hey, you like what I like. You like the men. So what made you just,
I've
sometimes.
always
Okay.
I was in elementary and I remember seeing a boy. I had a girlfriend at the time. And I was like, oh, he's cute. And I was in my mind, I'm like, oh, a boyfriend and a girlfriend.
Yeah.
But knowing that couldn't be anything, and I think that part of me growing up until I did open up my truth within that, it was a hiding form of like,
Yeah.
I didn't want people to know,
or judge you.
Yeah. So maybe that was the reason why I felt like I just had to like be in front of everybody all the time. You know what I mean? And so I was just overly social. But honestly, it's a part of like that Leo trait. Yeah. So it's just like, but it really became like an addiction.
Okay.
And then when I got older, I was constantly dating. I never took the time out to actually figure out who Matthew was. Mm-hmm. So all of the things that we talked about that I'm like, okay, this is what made me blah, blah, blah. That's all cool to put in a book. But now of my life, now I'm like, within the last 3 years, it was COVID. Mm-hmm. During COVID, I went through a separation. Okay. And that's what turned it because I lost everything I was in that relationship. When we first got together, within the first 6 months, he lost his mother. In the middle of the night. Sister went in to go to school, to wake her up, take her home, or take her to school. She wasn't moving. And I remember having a dream that night, and Drake was in it, which is so weird. Drake was in it, and there were kids. They were playing. It was an apartment complex, and I was walking, and I was with Drake, which was so weird. But we were looking at everything like, oh, that's nice, that's nice. And then I started walking off, and the kids were like asking him all these questions. And I remember looking up, and it was like 2 units, 2 apartments, and the people were running out, and there were people going and shooting, like in all black, like a SWAT team, just going in, brrr, and that's all you heard. And you have all of these people running around, and I remember looking back and trying to make sure like the kids were running, and they weren't. And then that's when I woke up. And so
What did you
when
take
I
from
woke
that?
up, he called.
Oh,
He was
wow.
calling me. That's why I woke up. He called me. And so I answered the phone. I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, it's early in the morning. It's like 6 o'clock. And I'm like, and he's like, I need you to do me a favor. He had a miniature poodle at the time. And he was like, I need you to do me a favor. And I need you to watch my dog. And so I was just like, okay, that's fine. You know, perfectly
Yeah.
fine. But I was trying to figure out like what the problem was. And he didn't sound like himself. And he comes over, he drops the dog off. And as soon as I open the door, he's like, my mom died. And I just stood there. And so he gets in the car, he goes to South Carolina. And to make a long story short, experiencing that changed me completely. Like I was so like self-centered. I had people tell me, oh, you're not compassionate enough. And it was weird, you know, because it was just like early stages.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I couldn't understand why anyone had to lose a parent.
Yeah.
You know, like we have to accept the fate of death.
Yeah.
We all get to that point. But it was just kind of like,
why? Yeah.
And it ate me up. And so I became very protective of, you know, just that and his experience with that. And I think because I gave so much of me and I became so protective, I just threw away who I, you know, whatever.
Okay.
It was all about this family unit. You know,
Yeah.
he had to face a reality he did not deserve. And coming out of that relationship in 2020, when the pandemic happened and being separated from everybody, I went through the biggest depression of my life. And then coming out of that, trying to find myself, you know, I'm in Midtown and it's just people everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's just me and my dog at this point. Brought me to the second phase of my life.
Okay.
And the dream, and you did ask, how did I interpret that dream? So I went to work that day and I'm telling my office manager at the time and friend. And I was just like, it hit me in the car on the way here. At that time, the biggest single of Drake that was out was God's Plan.
Oh, wow. And that video in particular. Yeah. Yeah.
And so it was just wild to me. And I was sitting there in her office and I told her that, and we both just stared at each other for like a minute. And I think that was me accepting the responsibility that whatever this journey was about to look like, it was God's plan. And it was God's plan.
Okay.
Even to this point.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So how do you, if this is touchy, just say Kira no. But I got to ask because it's on me. How do you deal with your, I don't know what you may label yourself as, but your relationship with God, seeing that stereotypically and how people judge of it, this is not right. But what is your relationship with God? What does that look like?
Okay.
And before anybody try to judge, let's just keep this simple. There's no judgment on my show. So when we go to comment and having something to say, if you got something negative to say, just don't. Because it's not going to be good because I respond. This is his opinion. Okay.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Cover your ears if you don't want to hear it. I'm playing. So nobody can tell me nothing about my God.
Okay.
What he's brought me through, the instant like miracles, like nothing, no one can tell me about my God. And I know people have their beliefs and they're true to that, but I truly believe that God is not religion. He's spiritual. How are you with the spirit? How are you carrying yourself righteous in the spirit? You're not righteous being judgmental.
Right.
Thou shalt not judge.
Yeah.
And
that's a big one.
We do it. We're human.
Yeah.
You know, we do fall to the flesh.
Yeah.
But I know my God, oh my gosh, he is an awesome God. It's
regardless of the fact.
Yeah, we're riding on the way here and I'm listening to we're listening to Pandora. I love Pandora when it comes to just gospel music because it just keeps it going.
Yeah.
Spotify and Apple kind of limit you to like a certain playlist or radio and you're like, okay. But Got to deal with the commercials though, because I'm not paying that extra money,
Of
especially to
course.
already have Spotify.
Yep.
Wasted. We don't need, what is that? We need passive, not liability. But it's just the spirit can happen at any moment. You know, we were listening to the songs and it just hit me. I started crying. I was like trying to control it. I'm like, no. Because my 2 front windows aren't, and I was doing this all day, which is funny.
Okay.
But my 2 front windows aren't tinted.
Okay.
In the truck. And so I don't want people to like see me. You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
Leo in me, just like, I just want to save face. I'll
Yeah.
let it out sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't control it. But yeah, my God is good. So
You don't care, basically.
yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
You know, I'm like,
Okay.
God bless. And I give, you know, I can sit here and talk to a Trump supporter and we could be, actually I do in my line of work. And we're always just the best of friends because we're able to acknowledge, like the conservative side of me is able to acknowledge that certain things, we'll save that for another conversation. But yeah, that's me and God.
Okay. I was just like, how can I address it without offense or something like that? But you just entitled, because again, if we call ourselves that love him seriously and totally for real, that's not our cross to bear anyway to judge you.
Yeah.
So you have to decide, when you die, it's going to be how you die. When I die, it's going to be how I die. He's going to judge us differently because we are 2 totally different people. So that's that on that. So moving right along, moving right along. Also, how has family been, or did you have, or do you have like straight friends that were just, if you told them, they like, oh, we can't be friends anymore? How has everybody, have they been welcoming? Have they disowned you? Have they treated you different? Can you sense it?
Because I chose to walk how God made me in the first place, I think for me, everything was just nothing but love. Okay. I've never had a lover turn me away. I've never had a family member say like, oh my God, I'm not going to do that. Like, I've never just experienced that. I think the biggest battle it created was just, it did shift that level of trust between my father and I.
Okay. Your stepfather or
my real father? Yeah.
Okay.
Because we were the best of friends, you know, and I think because I didn't come to him a lot sooner, and I think this is how it also affects him. So like I said, Pine Bluff is it's a nice little town. It's black in Arkansas.
Okay.
And he had his own business he details cars, like body work and stuff like that. So a body shop.
Okay.
And since I was a baby, he's always had it. So I've never known him to have a job. And that's where that wanting to become my own boss is kind of like, it really eats me up when I can't figure it out. Because I'm like, okay, like, come on now, plug something in, make it work. Not make it work, but when it's supposed to, it's supposed to. However, he really didn't like the fact that I just couldn't come to him a lot sooner. And all of Pine Bluff speculated. Like, I came from Japan. I was dyeing my hair red. My hair was, every time Rihanna changed her hair color, I was changing my hair color to match it in some way. Within the boy form, you know? And so people were just like, oh, woo-doo-doo. And he used to always say, man, he was just raised around them white people. You know, and he used to just put it off. And nobody treated me differently, even in the streets. You know, everybody was quite the same. But to my surprise, that was a discussion. Okay. Someone could have said something. But I did. I never said anything. Yeah, you know, I ask and I'll tell. So he used to always battle it out. And I think that's what just became the embarrassment. It's just like, he didn't have, I would have wanted to be, you know, you're my first son. Yeah. So what's going on? Yeah. And so
he doesn't mind. He doesn't care about the fact that you are gay. It's just that you did not come to him. Yeah. You told everybody. He didn't have his personal time with you. Okay. I get that.
And I think we're still not like right now we're in a little tiff. Okay. But it has nothing to do like with that. I'm just being Matthew right now.
Okay.
But we've had conversations about me wearing pink wigs. Like, he's just like, he doesn't care. Like, people come to him, they're like, oh, your son he posted this on social media. He posted that. Like, and everybody, it's so weird. But everybody runs to him whenever, like, I'm just out here living my life.
And forgetting that you're a grown-ass man at the
end of the day. That's what he says. Yeah. And he's just like, okay. Like, I was telling him, I was like, Dad, I'm about to put on a pink wig. I know people are about to start running to you telling you, but this is what I'm about to do on social media or whatever. And he's like, oh, just make it funny.
Okay.
Like, okay.
You support. Okay.
So yeah, it's people are weird.
So speaking of that, so do you dress do you dress like a woman, or
no,
you
I'm
just
still a man?
Okay.
You know,
you just
I'm gonna be the first one. If you touch that doorknob without me touching it, oh, I'm gonna be upset.
Okay.
Like, yeah,
Okay.
I'm a complete gentleman in that. My grandmother, she's always like, your mother did a phenomenal job with you. And it's like, I lead with respect. Like, you know, like I just love people.
Yeah.
And so, she really took the time out to, because her and my dad haven't been together since I was a baby. Like, he was about to propose, and she was accusing him of cheating.
Okay.
And it just caused the rift to just go, whatever. He threw the ring somewhere, I think in a pond or something like that.
Okay.
And they just went their separate ways. So, girl, I forgot why I said that.
No, you were just I was asking, like, did you dress as a woman? Do you sometimes do that?
Yeah,
you just no, you just basically still stay with your masculinity. Okay.
So yeah, her single parenting was phenomenal. My dad's always been in my life. So I'm grateful for that aspect. I just know they were young. She conceived me in high school.
Okay.
So, you know, it's just like, I look at couples now like, oh, you've been together since high school? Wow! Yeah, you know, I don't want to be like, girl, the time is ticking.
right,
you know, go live your life. But sometimes God does that for people, and kudos to them.
Yeah. I get
No judgment.
I get that. But let's see. What else I got up my sleeve to ask you? So how is it just like on a everyday basis with dealing with people? So like, do people automatically just know, or like, how do they come at you or receive you now?
I let them know. Sometimes I walk around with a stank face, and, you know, I'll give like, oh, he's just prim and proper.
Okay.
But I'm instantly like, girl, I love your nails.
Okay. Do you do that? Do you get your nails polished and stuff?
So yeah, I was doing it before it became trendy now for all these rappers and all that stuff. Like, I was doing that in like 2014, you know, doing the white nail polish. Like, I never like to tip into like colors because that's just too loud for me.
Okay.
I'm flamboyant, but just not that flamboyant.
Okay.
So I'll stick between like the nude sometimes, or like I did a form of chocolate something, but yeah, I just like my colors. I like to express myself creatively.
Okay.
And so yeah, that the hair, the nails, you know, it's just like, oh, what can I do to personalize it?
Okay, just to stand on who you are.
Yeah,
okay.
And I think people just kind of get the gist sometimes. Actually, not sometimes. I know people, they get it. They figure it out.
Gonna be
but everybody's comfortable. Yeah, everybody's comfortable, because I just make sure I'm not like, that's where my conservative kind comes out at. It's like, you guys ask for a lot, and you guys aren't willing to give respect to people, so you can't ask. You know, you gotta kind of respect everybody, and everybody doesn't want to be walking around, you know, seeing all the things that they're just so exposing to show nowadays. Like, that's just a lot.
I get that, because like being a woman, like with you who you are, I like you.
Thank you.
But sometimes it can be, thank you. Sometimes it can be overbearing at times, because sometimes I notice, like with some gay guys, they portray us as women like this is what we do, and we don't. Like, they can be a little bit too extra. Yeah. And that be the part I'd be like, wait a minute now. No, we don't do all of that. Yeah. So, like, I have a gay friend, and he reminds me of you. He's just more toned. Okay. And I don't mean that disrespectfully.
No.
But
there's all forms.
He's still quiet. He's out. You know he is. Yeah. But like you stated, he's still a gentleman. But once he put his clothes on, he holds conversation. You like, oh. And people like you, him, y'all don't bother anybody to me. So I would expect the same for nobody not to bother y'all. Like, you're somebody I want to protect if somebody stepped out of line with you, because you cool.
Yeah, thank you.
But sometimes it can be, thank you. Sometimes it can be overbearing when I'll be like, now wait a minute. We do not do that. Yeah. Or like you and I were talking earlier, this same friend, it's a difference with talking to your homegirls. Not saying it's right, but you know, girlfriends will say like, bitch, and all. Okay. Well, he and I used to work together, and he called me a bitch one time. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
we not gonna do that. And he was just like, oh shit, my bad. I
Yeah.
respect it, never again. Now we talk about other people, because
Yeah.
that's the person we crack on people and all that stuff. We talk about all other people, it's like, they a couple of bitches or whatever, but he's not disrespectful to me.
Yeah.
So I respect that. But moving forward, so where you are now, what else are you trying to gain with being who you are? Because you just stated I don't know anything about your community. I just know I love who I love.
Yeah.
I respect people. There's no judgment on my end for who you are. And it is what it is. My only thing is, don't force anything on me. I don't care who you are, but
Thank
don't
you.
force nothing on me
Yes.
that I don't like. Now, I don't agree with certain things, and it's just me. But I would never disrespect you because of who you are. I would just, if it's something that I feel a way about, I'll tell you. But me to be like, and Matthew, you gay, so don't. No, I'm not that person. Now, what my beliefs are and how I feel, that's a me thing. Has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
But I'll still respect you because I'm expecting on my end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, where are we going now? Since you've came out, you're gay. Are you in a relationship?
Are
you dating?
No.
Okay.
No, and I'm not.
Okay. Do you plan on dating, or
I mean, I'm just here to welcome whatever God has for me when it comes, like I don't want to go out there seeking because I don't want to find anything that's going to be bad.
Okay.
The last relationship did show me that I actually want a family.
Okay.
And so I just can't give that to everybody because I'm quick to just,
Okay.
I'm submissive but yet powerful.
Gotcha.
And it's in a way that's just kind of like, I'll submit to a degree, but I'm still like, a man.
Yeah.
And so, I just have to find somebody who can control that. Like I still like to hand wash my car, from the inside out. I like to, I like the handiwork,
Okay.
So it's so much femininity, but it's like really more masculine with me.
Okay.
There's certain aspects you're like, oh, caught it.
Okay. I get that. So you just basically still on your journey, learning who you are and just working with that.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Soon
respect
to one
that.
day take over the world, but
As you should. What do you do?
I do right now as
Career-wise, job-wise.
Okay, that's what I was going towards. Good. I'm customer service. I'm in insurance. I sell insurance.
Okay.
I sell life insurance. I sell car insurance, home insurance, bonds, annuities, stuff like that.
Okay, cool. You like it?
No.
Okay.
I actually hate it.
What do you...
Because of the customer service aspect. Because it's like, people don't care for like positions like that. You know what I mean? And it's cool. I make my money now. Like I do make my money. But I just want to do what I want to do, and that's just live my life and get paid for it.
So what do you want to do in the aspect of living your life getting paid for? You still got to do something, even with working for yourself.
So now I'm in the process of obtaining my real estate license.
Okay, awesome.
Just so I can, because I love property, like, oh my gosh. And so if I can just sell a dream to someone, it's just like, so that's my focus. So my day job is, the 9 to 5. Do your sales, get your money.
Okay.
And outside right now, the reality job is the real estate.
Okay.
And then I wouldn't say fantasy or dream because I'll say that's just the other job outside of real estate, is entertainment. Anything entertainment, podcasts, talking to people, music. I have a couple of bops produced by Ali Rashad that, get the people moving.
Okay.
And it's just, making people feel good, making people feel happy.
So you sing or you rap?
So I'm just more so of like can I talk off camera?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say
You're more of a vibe artist.
Yeah.
You make vibes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a certain genre. If it's a vibe, you make it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Vibe.
Okay.
I'm a vibe music, I got that lover's pill to make you want to slap your mama.
Okay. All of that. You're funny. I like you. You are okay with me. Okay. I get that. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, I wish you much success with that as well. So we'll just, damn, you had a good little time with you, we'll just go ahead and wrap it up. Are you on social media?
Yes, I am on social media.
You can go ahead and tell the people.
Find me
find you.
on everything at. Oh, sorry. You can find me on everything at Matt Ferguson Jr. MattFerguson, and that's on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. And I think those are my favorites right now. So yeah, thank you guys for having me. Thank you for having me, Kira.
No problem.
Like, this has been a good time.
I really enjoyed you. You gotta come back. No, you're fine. As you should. As you should. That's what makes it real. Again, this is a safe place. This is where you're welcome. You spill. You talk. No judgment zone. And again, it's your opinion. So, with me, y'all, of course, you know, you can find me on IG, Miss Queen Kira, Queen's Opinion Podcast. I'm sorry, y'all. Queen's Opinion Podcast on IG. If you would like to link up with me, if you would like to collab, it's MissQueenKira@gmail.com. No, that's not right, y'all. Queen's Opinion Podcast @gmail.com. I am on IG. I'm on YouTube. All platforms. Just look me up and just remember, it's a Queen Opinion. Have a good one. Peace.
Peace, y'all. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
That part.
Ooh. That was so fun.